you're seeing is not an act of God or rider error, it's equipment failure. People don't realise that it's equipment failure because they assume that the best possible surfboards have been chosen, but they haven't. Okay, here's Sean Dollar taking off at Mavericks. Not very successful. Right, we can see that in slow motion now. As he takes off, you can see he's hanging right on the tail, then the nose comes in, he can't lift the nose. Boom, that's all it takes. So we can cure that with the Ghost. Some of the other control issues we've seen in those videos, wipeout videos, were again because of the pitch fulcrum. So let's say you're standing in the middle of the board and the pitch fulcrum's somewhere beneath your feet, then let's say it's here. Now the board can do this, but the rider doesn't feel much. They stay in a stable position, and where they're standing doesn't rise up and down, it just stays level. So the board can do what it likes. Right? Now, if the nose on a planing tailed surfboard, which is the typical kind of surfboard that is used, pitches up suddenly, then the tail won't sink easily. So you get a high pressure spot here, and the tail will respond by producing more lift here, higher pressure here. So the nose can't be lifted. The rider can shift his ass right back and weight the tail, but the nose won't come up, with obviously disastrous consequences. That's one issue. There's another aspect to this problem, which we're seeing in these wipeouts, which is to do with the pitch fulcrum, which we can also call a harmonic node. And that is that this pitch fulcrum or harmonic node, which is where the board pivots, doesn't just move backwards when the rider moves backwards or when he speeds up. It'll also move backwards when the nose hits a piece of chop and pitches up. When it pitches up, the fulcrum will move way back suddenly, really quickly. So when that happens, the rider's standing in front of it. Now when you're standing in front of the node, that part of the board is moving up and down. So the rider has to deal with that too. He's got the deck jumping up and down. Whereas if he's here, over the pitch fulcrum, it doesn't jump up and down at all. It stays stable, so you can still control the situation. So you start adding these issues in, it only takes a small number of them, or even one, to just end the ride, because you've got so much going on that having to deal with the board bouncing up and down, the amount of rail you're using changing suddenly, and the sort of problems we've described is fatal. So the Ghost doesn't do that because the tail sinks. It's that simple. If it hits a piece of chop and the nose rises, the tail will sink, and it's all good. Pitch fulcrum stays in much the same position. Or if the nose drives in to the water, it curls, you come down, you have to keep the nose down, so you drive down, keep your nose down, hit some chop. With a planing tailed surfboard, you'll get a high pressure area here, the tail will respond with a high pressure area here. You won't be able to lift the nose up no matter what you do, especially at speed. With this board, nose goes in, high pressure here, tail sinks, nose comes up, no problem. It's that simple.